Welcome to episode 116 of The Closing Table with Lawyers title. I'm your host, Tamera Gaede. Today, we're going to discuss real-life balance without the filter right after this.
Welcome to The Closing Table with host Tamera Gaede, where we break down how to be successful in real estate and what it's really like to work in the real estate business. This is The Closing Table with Lawyers title.
Welcome back again. We are going to talk about some real-life balance. I love my Women in Business segment on the show, and I have a returning guest. Not only is she hilarious, okay, but she's also incredibly formative as a producer in real estate for about 9 years now. So Lisa Elliott.
Can't believe it.
Welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for bravely having me back.
We are missing Luann today, but
Yeah.
understand why family comes first.
Absolutely.
So she had to take care of her husband today. But I think we're going to have a pretty good conversation. So let's kind of kick it off with just how is it going so far this year?
Good. I can't believe it's February, really almost
March.
Yeah. And it started off as a pretty good year, and things are kind of lining up, and people are starting to move out more, move up, and
What do you think is contributing to the increase in activity? Because we're seeing it too.
I mean, of course, everybody's going to say interest rates, but I think it's just people are just like, okay, we can't wait around forever.
They're over it.
I mean, you know, you've got people that are getting married, you've got people having babies and graduating college and going through a divorce.
Yeah, those are all normal.
Or someone's passed away and they need to move, or they need to downsize. So those are all things that really can't wait for an interest rate.
No. Yeah, we still have the necessary, contracts or movement in real estate. But I wanted to get fun again.
Looking for fun again. Define fun.
Fun.
Define fun.
It's just work.
Yeah.
I mean, my job is fun, don't get me wrong, but when the contracts come in and I see my producing clients, happy and having a robust business, that in turn gives us a win too. And I don't know, it becomes more fun.
That's true. Money, it can be fun.
Yeah, well, it's been hard.
Success.
Like I've had some really good clients of mine that have been really on the struggle bus, and I just feel so bad for them, and I'm trying to help them as much as I can, but it's just, especially my listing agent clients, they've just had their listings just sitting there, and listings are expiring, and people are just frustrated, and we all know what most of the problem is, but there's only so much you can do to convince a seller that they need to price a house correctly, right? So,
right.
At the end of the day, a house is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it. Isn't that how it goes?
So true. That's what they say, and it's true. I mean, you can't just pull people out of the air to buy a house, and people. You can do whatever you can to educate your sellers, but it's still their decision.
Mm-hmm. It puts you guys in a precarious position. I think I was at a meeting before this, and the team lead was like, "Come on over, Tamera, to the dark side." And I'm like, first of all, I'm already in the dark side. But second of all, I don't envy your job. It's really hard.
It can be.
My job's hard too, but you learn how to do it, right?
You do. You navigate, just like with anything, you navigate how it works for you.
Yeah.
And you navigate people and circumstances and life. And gosh, I guess so much part of our job is being a counselor sometimes, of knowing how to work with that client. And
navigate the emotional distress that sometimes these things cause, because they get really complicated.
Exactly. I tell my clients, look, my job is to help take the stress out of it.
Yeah.
Let me handle the emotional part. Let me take that out. My job is to help you get to your end goal as less stress as we can.
To the closing table.
Yeah.
Let's be reasonable so we can get to the closing table. Okay, well, we're kind of tapping into a little bit. I want you to tell this story because it's kind of crazy. Okay. And I'm kind of wondering how many real estate transactions are complicated, because I don't hear about it, because escrow is really the ones that navigate through the transaction and know what the complications are with a transaction. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go bug the girls later because I want to hear if they've had any crazy stories lately. You've got a crazy one. Tell the audience what happened to your client's house.
Oh my gosh. they're sweet people. First of all, she's an agent, and she asked us to take care of their house.
Why?
She'd been out of it for a little bit.
Okay.
And she knows our reputation and what we do and who we are.
Okay.
And
That makes sense.
sweet lady, sweet family. We'd had her house on the for about 30 days, maybe.
On the market for about 30 days?
Maybe about 30 days. And we had a showing that morning. And then I get a call from that agent, and he says, "Hey, I think your house is burning." I was like,
oh my
"What?
God.
What do you mean you think?" And he goes, "Yeah, we decided to drive back by, and it's on fire." And I was like, "What?" So I immediately,
drop.
yeah. So I immediately try to call her. Of course, it goes voicemail.
Yeah.
So then I see on social media it's already been picked up.
Oh, they already like the media or something?
Yeah, it was
Stop
crazy.
it.
Yeah. And
Wait,
so,
what city was this house in?
Colleyville.
Colleyville, okay.
And so I immediately jumped in the car. Of course, all the streets are shut down, but I was able to, kind of finagle my way back in there, get there, and there's like 3 fire trucks. I mean, the streets are roped off.
Oh my gosh.
And she's in it was just.
And she's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
my life. I mean,
Well,
could you imagine?
No, I mean,
the whole thing burned down.
pretty much. I mean, they were able to get there pretty quick, but it's a loss.
And all their things.
All their things. They had been moving stuff out because, when you're selling your house, you need to downsize and you need to pack it up anyway. And so they had been.
Well, that's a lot of the personal stuff, thank goodness.
Sending, a lot of stuff into storage. And luckily, praise the Lord, nobody was hurt. The husband was there with the dog.
Did the dog get out? That's the only thing I want to know. The dog get out?
No, everybody's good. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. And it has been crazy. And some things to learn from it. Number one, I couldn't believe how many people were just like, trying to get to them for insurance people, contractors. And you're like, their house is burning.
It's still on
You need to
fire
take
when
a
all of
second.
this is happening.
Yeah.
Stop, girl, stop.
Yeah. And so, look, the police were there, and so they were doing a really good job of, blocking it off. And but it was crazy, and they're still going through it. And so, some things for people to take away is check your insurance.
Yeah.
Check your insurance. Check the policies. Check the procedures. Check your coverage, and what you have.
We just recycled an episode with Nick Klein.
I saw that.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
100% awesome. I've known him for a very long time, and he's a great person to reach out to. And we recycled his episode. I'm going to have him back on the show to talk about what's going on currently with insurance. But my point is that one of the reels that we used was him talking about needing to check your policy, your deductible, and things and really understanding what's going to happen if a loss does occur.
Yeah,
And I don't think everybody just pays attention to their insurance premiums. They don't care about what's written in the details of the coverage, and you have to look at both.
Agreed.
You have to look at, and look, that's a really hard place for Texans to be in right now because, as we all know, our property taxes and our insurance have gone through the roof. And some of this is just, like I can understand some people getting into bad positions because they simply can't afford the monthly nut on this anymore, right?
Right.
And so they're trying to reduce their monthly payments. But in turn, you're setting yourself up for a pretty big exposure.
And I think it was him that said. I think it was him that said that while you're under option, you need to call your insurance company for that very reason, because they're seeing a lot of people not aging out.
The seller does.
Yeah, no, the buyer.
When they're looking at a quote?
Yeah, when they're looking at buying a house and they're under option, to talk to their insurance agent to find out
what the premiums would be and make sure they can afford them.
Because a lot of people are not able to follow through with that because of the insurance. And then you get down further the road, and then what are you going to do?
Oh, I've heard of people terminating contracts because the taxes and insurance were too high.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're still fighting with the insurance, and they are the sweetest, most precious.
And look, I get that it's just stuff, but
it's their stuff.
I would die if that happened.
Yeah.
Like I have family pieces that have been in the family for generations, and like all the things, that I don't know. I feel for them. I
They
think
were able
that's
to
just,
contain a lot of it,
yeah.
but everything smells like smoke. And so how do you have to go through that whole de-smoking, whatever the word is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'd probably just have to throw away all my linens and towels and stuff like that and just start over.
Yeah.
But rugs there's some expensive things. My kitchen can burn down. I hate cooking, so that whole thing can go. We won't talk about my kitchen burning down though. I don't want to manifest that. So anyway, so they're still navigating the claim. Have they gotten a payout for the dwelling or
no? I mean, they're still working on that. I mean, they're getting increments.
Is it a total loss on the house or are they?
Yeah, pretty much. And I'll tell you something else that we learned too is I had seen it. I don't know if it was a post or what, but that if something like that happens and your house is not as intact, I guess it is, because then your tax can go down. So they were able to file whatever form it is to the assessor's office and lower their home value.
Just down to the land, probably.
It's a percentage, or for the year that you have it. So, I mean, at least that's something you can save some taxes.
So, what are they going to do? Are they going to rebuild it?
They're rebuilding it.
Oh God, that's awful! You're trying to sell it.
Well, then you will, because it's where it's
you can
located.
Design what you want.
You can do what you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's great. Actually,
what does everybody want on the first floor of a 2-story house? What does everybody want?
Master bedroom.
And what else?
I don't know.
A second bedroom down.
Oh, they want a second bedroom.
Everybody want
two bedrooms down, master and a secondary.
Master and a second. And so this one didn't have that. So now it's going to.
Now it's going to. I don't understand why they build houses with all the bedrooms upstairs. That to me is like, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so they're okay. Everybody's safe, healthy.
Yes.
The dog is okay.
Yes.
I have a personal,
No, I understand. No, yes.
And so, okay. And so they're still navigating through everything. How do we have any idea how long all of this?
It's just
and they're trying to sell the house.
Not
so what
now,
are they going to do?
mean,
Like, are they going to get the money and sell it as is with?
Well, we looked at selling it as is, but everybody wants to give you pennies on the dollar versus what
it's really valued.
It is.
So
and
they're
so it's
going to
like,
rebuild.
well, heck, I can take the increments of the insurance and build it back, and then, so they're working,
on what to
that.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing what you learned part from it, right?
For sure.
So I'm going to pivot. I kind of wanted to talk about marketing because I'm talking to a lot of realtors that are doing targeted marketing, right? And I'm not just talking about like a particular neighborhood. It could be, but people are kind of wanting to. I'm hearing more about desire to do targeted marketing. And so every once in a while, someone still talks about the baby boomers. And I actually had a conversation last week about marketing to baby boomers. We called it the silver tsunami, but we've been waiting on that tsunami for how many years now, Jesse? Like 3 or 4. And these people don't want to leave their homes, okay? And I can tell you for a fact, my dad had all bedrooms upstairs and still had no desire to leave that house. And I think most of them just want to stay there until they're done.
What does that look like for us? I mean, how do we prepare for a silver tsunami? How do we prepare for that, if that makes sense?
Well, I think it's developing if you want to market to that segment of the market, then we just need to prepare a plan for you, right?
Yeah.
But I think the hard part for everyone is, us salespeople, we have the attention span of a gnat, right? And so waiting 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years for this to all kind of come to fruition, who has the bandwidth for that? The millennials are also tough because did you know the average age of a buyer now is 40 years old?
I just heard that recently.
Is that not crazy?
So sad.
Okay, so millennials are 30 to 45, right? So the 30-year-olds, they can't afford to buy a house yet. Housing prices are just too high.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be probably an event coming that'll knock them down a little bit, housing prices down a little bit, which we need. We need more affordability. But I guess, of course we can come up with a targeted marketing plan for millennials and boomers. But even millennials, if they're 30 and the average age of a buyer is 40, you're probably trying to market to them for at least 5 years, unless something happens.
Yeah.
That's a long long stretch. I don't think most realtors have a pipeline that long. I know I don't.
Well, I think that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Well, no, for sure. Yeah.
You have to have pillars. You have to have
Yes.
pillars, and then you have to know your strengths and where you want it to be. Like the Silver Tsunami, I know a lot of agents, that's all that they walk in. They are senior specialists.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. They know all the products for that. And they have those connections, and they cultivate that. And they cultivate
I have a client who's
relationships
focused completely
like
on that. Yeah.
And then you have some who are, like, if you're just a first-time home buyer, then that's all that you're looking at, or you're focused on people coming out of renting or apartments or different things. So I think it depends on kind of, where.
Are you focused on marketing to either one of those groups?
I pretty much go where my people are, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, you've always been a sphere-based realtor.
I would say I'm starting to help a lot of the younger ones that were friends of my kids.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That are friends of my friends of our friends, their kids.
No, that makes sense.
Which is a total, honor and a privilege to help
Isn't
them.
that incredible?
It's so fun.
The lifespan of your career, to see the next generation coming to you, asking you to help with the house. I have, Tom and Angela have been on the show before, and they've talked about that. And I think it's pretty cool that, you've been in it long enough to see that happen, right?
Well, yeah, and you see these kids who are in your home, they know where the frozen Oreos are, and they know how to get to your kitchen.
Frozen Oreos?
Oh, yeah.
I'll go to that
Miss Elliott
house.
always had Oreos in the refrigerator. They knew where they were. But now to see them getting married, having their children, and helping them buy their first home.
Yeah.
It's just so fun.
So you're not focused on them specifically, those two age groups. It's part of your sphere.
It's part of my sphere.
So what are do you want to tell us what your other pillars are? Or, because I know you guys get leads too.
We do, but open house. I did a lot of open houses.
Yeah, you're an open house converter.
Yeah, I can convert open
lead
houses.
Converter.
And I say my sphere and referral. I get a lot of referrals.
I love referrals.
Past clients.
I love referrals. You don't have to, you already built the trust. And so they just send, and you're like, instant business. I love referrals. You should always ask for referrals.
Right.
But it's nice when you just get them.
It is. It's like, hey, my friend said I should call you.
Yes,
okay,
my favorite.
Let's go.
My absolute favorite. Okay, so we're going to talk about AI.
Okay.
And I know that, and I'll speak vulnerably about it as well. I have a hard time exposing my deficiencies with whatever's going on. I mean, I'll call Phoebe. I have no problem calling Phoebe and being like, hey, girl, I need your help figuring this out, right?
Sure.
But that's very, off book,
Well, we said this was no filter. So here we go.
Oh, well, Luann's not here. We would have had to have a pretty big filter if Luann was here.
Love you, Lou.
We would just kind of black her out for this part of the conversation. It would just be that that body outline with the black in the middle. I'm using AI.
Me too.
I do have roadblocks with it, and I think they're justified. I was at a team meeting this morning, and they were talking about Monarch, I think. And it's one of those platforms where you connect all your bank accounts and investment accounts, and it'll tell you what your net worth is, and kind of where you've got money, credit, debit, all this. And I was like, I'm not. I'm not
stuff
there.
like that. I'm
not there. I'm very careful. My AI assistant's name is Megan. Yours is Sage. We both have.
Her name is Sage. She named herself. Mine
Interesting.
said Sage because of wisdom. Because she's so wise.
Nice. So anyway, I want to talk about what you use Sage for. I talked to Megan. Now Megan helps, and Jesse's AI platforms help a lot with the podcast processing, because this whole thing is taking on a life of itself. Thank
yeah.
gosh. But it's a little bit of a monster now to process it
Sure.
and get out.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a team working on this.
Sure.
And I think we have, 2 AI, maybe 3 AI platforms helping us process. You've got Opus, and then I've got Megan helping me with some better, more robust podcast posts. So we've got AI like really involved with the podcast now, and it helped a lot. But I don't know. I'm really careful about what I talk to Megan about. I have zero problem talking to her about anything she can find on the interweb and anything related to business. But when it comes to my personal stuff, I'll ask her, like I've asked her before, can you please help recommend a kitchen faucet that's rated the highest by customer reviews on Home Depot? Could I have found that on HomeDepot.com? Yes.
Yeah, but
does she say she spit it out in like 2.5 seconds?
And would you like
with
more
photos
options?
and yes, and she asked things that I wouldn't even think of. By the way, I think I told you about this. She came up with my nephew's Christmas present, and it was a multi-step Christmas present that was that by the time we got done, that was some serious awesomeness, by the way.
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
Yes.
Like she even came up with the verbiage to put on the Christmas card to explain what everything was. It was awesome. It was bad to the bone. And my nephew was super, I think I was more excited about it than my nephew was. But anyway, so I use her for stuff like that. But she doesn't know a lot about me as like personally. And I don't think I can upload things that are like secure. And someone said this morning, well, it's if you access it on your phone, your bank account on your phone, it's already out there. And I'm like, maybe, but my bank account's not out there.
Yeah, I don't want to put my account, but I mean, she already knows a ton about you.
That's the one place I'm really deficient is using it for meetings. What about you?
Gosh, I think after our conversation about what we were talking about, I realized I think I use it really more than I think I do. I use it like for questions.
I think you use it a lot.
Scenario. I use it. One thing that I had learned was I put out coloring sheets at my open houses.
Oh yeah,
for
this is
houses
super
that have
cute.
kids, and so I take the picture of the house and upload it to Sage and say, make me a coloring sheet.
It's super cute.
And she'll make a coloring sheet. And so then I have those, houses that kids would come through.
That's a cute little golden nugget, y'all, that are paying attention.
And, I think the sellers kind of dig it because it's kind of like,
Well,
oh, it's
yeah.
cool. It's my house,
And they don't have to know that you made it on AI. I mean, this took me hours,
I mean, I hand drew that, traced it. Not really.
Yeah, no. Order the crayons at Amazon and spit out the picture, the colored picture.
Exactly. I think there are prompts that you can input to say, find me the best buyer for this house that has A, B, C, D, and E, and then it'll give you X, or help me. I'm trying to get in touch with some certain people with some stuff. And so I'll ask it, who is the CEO of X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I've used it for investigative work before.
Find that. Or you need to have a difficult conversation. Hey, I need to have this conversation.
I love it for verbiage.
And give me a scenario.
Ways to put things that I would have never. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and I don't have to sit there and be on the struggle bus in front of my computer trying to type all this out. It takes too long.
Yeah,
and sometimes my creative brain it's on pause.
Oh, I am not creative. I can duplicate, but I cannot create.
Yeah, I'm a total hijacker. 100%. Yeah, and I'm okay with announcing that.
Yeah,
right.
Me too.
And I don't think you have to come up with everything yourself. But I love all the ways that you're using it. I think I've sat in a couple of classes with Jason Northcutt, and I think the biggest takeaway from those meetings has been to make sure to set up your profile and set up all the settings for it so that the output is what you want. It shortcuts, having to train it, right?
Right.
So input the prompts to help set it up and customize it for you. That'll save you a lot of time. The other thing that I think is really fascinating for realtors, I love it for improving processes. So uploading an inspection report and having it spit out
Yes.
like all the major things that you need to focus
Yes.
on, not code upgrades, the
No.
actual repairs.
Right.
And then I heard about somebody who had it go even a step further and recommend contractors
Yes,
in the area,
I have
which I
done
thought
that.
was fabulous.
Yes.
Was that you I was talking to?
I don't think that was
That's
me,
brilliant.
but
Okay. That's brilliant.
Uploading a 100 page
Yes.
inspection, and you're like, what? And then it was like, give me the
Nobody wants
highlights.
to read
Now,
all
I still
that.
went through everything and made sure, but it was like, just give me the highlights of this.
Yeah. Some of the
because
back end process, that's
Yeah.
where I think it's a
Yeah.
real gem.
Agreed.
Okay. I can't believe I just used gem. But
Gem.
anyway, I think it's fabulous for that.
Yeah.
It helps me. I mean, we used it for some of the questions today because I was kind of stuck on a topic that I wasn't really sure how to dive into it. We used it for that.
Yeah. Sage is good. She's smart.
Megan is too.
We should introduce them.
That's weird. Okay, so one of the big things that I've heard come out of some of these AI conversations is it's a concern, right? And I feel like you guys are worried about it diminishing your value over time, right? I mean, I've been in a lot of settings where people have said it might take my job. I disagree with that. I don't think it's going to take our jobs. So where our jobs are client facing, relationship building, it can't replace that. So I don't have that fear on the table. Now, maybe when I'm long gone, maybe something will change, but we're not going to worry about that today. But I want to kind of settle some of this insecurity around it diminishing your value because I don't think it will. What do you have to say about that?
I agree with you. I don't feel like AI or any tool, anything can replace
That's what
you.
it is. It's a tool.
And if you know
It's
how
not
to use
you.
it, it's not me.
Yeah.
Because what is it? People work with you because they know, like, and trust you.
That's right.
They're not going to, your phone is fine. I mean, they can do anything on their phone. You can buy a house without having used a realtor. So the more you know about it, and the less that's going to, if you're more knowledgeable of the product and what it can do and can't do, then that's going to help you. But you have to use it, right? But not be afraid of it. Just like if you don't know how, it's just like with anything, parenting. When you first have a baby, you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Well, you learn and you do it.
You integrate it. You need to integrate it into your business and not be afraid of it. But
Just like a cell phone.
it's a tool.
It's a tool.
Well, that concludes Tamera and Lisa counseling session on AI.
There you go.
How do you feel that we did? I feel like we solved that
I
problem.
think we did good.
So we're going to wrap up, but I have a kind of weird question for you.
Bring it.
This was one Sage came up with. What would you tell your younger self just starting in the business if you could? What would you tell young Lisa just starting in the business?
Young Lisa, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Yeah.
You've got this.
I do that on the days that I'm really tired. I get up in the morning, I'm like, you can do it, Tamera. You can do it. And I just say that over and over.
My trainer says you can do hard things.
Oh, you can do hard things.
I can do hard things.
You can do hard things. Okay,
things.
I like that. I think that's a great place to stop for today. Did we solve all the world's problems?
Most of them. I think we're attempting to. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, that's a wrap on episode 116.
Woo, 116. I've
Again,
been
I'm your
16
host,
in a long time.
Tamera Gaede. Thank you for watching the show. And if you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So give me an opportunity to talk to you about your title needs, and we'll go sell something and make it a great day.